Zendaya is in a toxic love triangle, and I'm here for it. Nonetheless, there's some tennis being played, I guess. Let's get into the review of the new film, Challengers. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. Today, we're getting into the review of the new film, Challengers, coming to theaters April 26th. This film stars and also produced by Zendaya alongside of Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor. That is your love triangle, folks. That's really where the backs of this film's success is that you do have, first of all, talking about Zendaya's character, Tashi, who's a former tennis prodigy turned coach, who is a force of nature. That's what the synopsis say, and there's no other way I would describe this personality of Tashi. I mean, wherever she's at, she's going to command attention. She knows how to work the room. She knows how to work her influence and her power. She is certainly a force of nature, and is completely unapologetic about anything she does. So with that being said, this is perfect for Zendaya because I think, one, Zendaya just commands a lot of visual attention, and the fact that you have somebody who's so elegant and so goddamn gorgeous, and then you throw a personality on the back of it that is really demanding and commanding in it. I mean, it makes the character Tashi so believable, yet you're just completely glued to see what she may do or say next. With that being said, she is married to Mike Faist's character, who is Art. Art is losing bad at tennis. He used to be good, but he's losing bad. And Art is best friends with Patrick, who is Josh O'Connor's character. And when they were kids, I mean, they were literally brothers. They grew up together. They were both fantastic in tennis. They were certainly going to be the next big thing coming. And I think the theme of this film for me is how one fight can change a whole trajectory of somebody's life. And that's what happens with Patrick here, Patrick and Art. Even with Tashi involved too. And they explore all of that. They explore when they were younger, and then you see them in their later years grown, and the results of an event that really sent their life in a very unfortunate, should I say, trajectory, especially when it comes down for Patrick. Art is wealthy. He just isn't winning. Tashi is, again, a coach, very prominent, successful. She had an injury when she was younger, but she's still very much respected within the world of tennis here. And also, when it comes down to brand ambassadoring, she's her. And the two of them as a power couple gets them a lot of checks. With that being said, listen, the film, first of all, when I watched this film, and I watched it about a week or something ago, so I've had some time to let this really marinate. There was things in the film and reactions from the audience that I wasn't connecting with. I mentioned about this love triangle and it being toxic, and things get pretty steamy at times, and the reaction that some of the folks in the screening was giving wasn't my reaction. There was moments that I did not think was funny that people laughed. There was moments that I didn't think needed levels of commentary that people added. Honestly, I think people were just enjoying seeing a woman being torn between two men, and for whatever reason, that was pleasurable to them. We'll just let that be for that. But for what it's worth, the tennis aspect of it, I gotta say, as a person who doesn't follow tennis heavily, they really brought you into the action. There was definitely some very bomb sequences within the film. The cinematography, along with that, they gave you some slow motion shots, and like a lot of just really cool cinematic action shots all on the court. And it was like moments where the ball was like coming at you. If this was 3D, this would kind of be very, very cool. But nonetheless, yeah, and even giving you some first person shots, almost kind of feeling like a video game at times. Back to the slow motion shots real quick. Every opportunity they got to really emphasize that Zendaya's character Tashi was a model, they did show. They gave her some slow motion walks. They made sure that like they gave her extra long shots that was like at points unnecessary. Nothing against Zendaya, but it's like we still got a movie to be told here, you know. But they definitely want to ensure that her glamour, her beauty was on display. They said if we're gonna have Zendaya on the film, we're gonna get every ounce of her time that we can possible, and that's for sure. With that being said, too, I think one thing is that Patrick and Art, the camaraderie amongst the two characters here, you really bought into it. So when things wasn't, and they've been friends since 12. They went to boarding school together. I think that the fact that like you really buy into their friendship, so that when there is friction between it, it sort of tore you as a viewer, because like these young horny boys who had their eyes and very curious about this young, very attractive lady in Tashi, like even that you were just like, yeah, I remember the first person I ever liked, and I remember, you know, when the hormones were uncontrollable, so you kind of bought into that, and you were cool with that. But like where you really started to draw the line is when you saw these two friends let a situation like that rip them apart amongst some other things as well. So I think they did a really good job in investing into all of the three leads, very individually, but yet collectively. Every character had a very distinct personality. Every character had their own struggle, but collectively it told the story that was enjoyable and very easy to buy into. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. But with that being said too, like I think that you also start to add your own commentary to the film, because with this drama in it, you want to kind of iron out the drama, but also expose who's truly the villain and everything. And there's moments where I'm like, yeah, Art is a snake, or Zendaya's manipulative, or Tashi's manipulative. And even to the point where you're just like, yeah, I would never have done that to my friend. And then poor Patrick is something I said a lot in it. But also he wasn't always so hands clean and everything. There's a lot of different things kind of going on, to the point that it almost becomes less about the tennis. The third act was so long. So long. And yes, it had a bomb sequence in it, but it was so long. I was just kind of like, they need to wrap this up. There's definitely some trimming of the fat with the third act. The soundtrack was loud and annoying to me. I have to just be honest. I could have did without it. It was very piped in hot, just loud and annoying. Again, they slow motion everything they could. This is like almost like Michael Bay with his action, with his glimmering shot, the slow motion scenes, and the little things he does. Like there was definitely a lot of like another slow motion scene, you know. And then they also left the film pretty open ended. For you to kind of add your own commentary in terms of what do you think is next, or what do you think happened. And I was cool with that, leaving it open-ended to draw for some commentary or discussion amongst folks, you know. With that being said too, there's some nudity in it. And there's also a Spider-Verse drop, you know, Zendaya, so, you know, Tom Holland, Spider-Man. That was pretty cool. But I think this is a film that I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. I felt like there was moments, and it's really not me or the film. I just think it was just because when I saw the film, like how folks were reacting to things I wasn't. I just thought like there was just a bunch of horny people in the audience that was just buying into things that were like not really so relevant in terms of the storytelling. Like, yeah, they had their moments, but like there's people that was definitely investing into things, just horniness in the crowd. That's all I can say. But nonetheless, no, I thought the film definitely had some good cinematic moments, especially with the action, with the tennis matches. I think the aesthetic of the film in terms of like everyone's costume design and really buying into one's tennis performances and physiques and all that other stuff, and then the continuity from when they were younger to older, I think all worked very well. Zendaya is just a force to be reckoned with in this film, but like let it be very clear that Mike and Josh are both very much fantastic, that the three of them carries this film. I don't know who else is in this film. Probably doesn't even matter. But the three of them absolutely carries this film. And I think for all the hype and everything people talking about with this film, it's certainly worth watching. It is certainly must watch. And it's a very competitive week, April 26th, of other films releasing. But I think, for the reasons you may want to go see this film, I think you will be satisfied. I mean, again, Zendaya's performance alone, alongside of Mike and Josh, that alone is worth the price of admission for your ticket. But then, yes, you get the added bonus with some amazing cinematography and action shots with the tennis aspect of it. The third act is entirely long. The music was loud, but for what it's worth, the drama in the film definitely keeps you invested. Certainly will have you talking. And I could already see people now with their posts by this release talking about how messy this person is and how wrong that person is. Oh yeah, you're getting all of that in this film. So if you like a film they're gonna have you talking, have you stressed, here you go. Here's the film for you. So yeah, check out Challengers. Jump in the comments, let me know your thoughts about this one once you do. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.
I